Yeah, there are lots of everyday things that we just take for granted as a family, and but we find out that along the line it's very important to document them so it makes a clearer picture and people are not confused. After having gone to the seminar, I've made some adjustments and I've updated my will and I've changed my powers of attorney. So that really put a big highlight on my plans. As a member of a corporation, I wanted to find out how the corporation impacted my business pertaining to the will.
I would suggest in the event that a person or a testator had a share or was a shareholder in a corporation that they specifically deal with that asset in their will. Shares in a corporation are definitely an asset, and I would strongly suggest that they deal with that asset in the will by leaving those shares specifically to a particular individual, a beneficiary. They can leave it gratis. They can leave it on the basis that the beneficiary has to pay a certain amount of money in order to acquire the shares. They can leave it by way of a first option to buy in favor of any of the other shareholders, but that they should seriously consider dealing specifically with that asset in their will.
How do I make sure there isn't conflict over my will?
Most common challenges with respect to wills that result perhaps in litigation, of course, is whether the testator was mentally competent, especially in situations where the testator may have told his family, his or her family, this is the way I want my estate to go, I want so-and-so to receive this amount or that amount, and the will is totally opposite to that. A second feature is where, of course, the testator may have had their first spouse pass away and are now living with another person of the opposite sex, and the will indicates that the amount of money or the estate was to go to the second, I'll call it spouse, and of course the children take issue with that, and that is not the way their father or mother wish their estate to go. So those are the most common situations that I find where there is a contesting of the will or a contesting of the testator's wishes in that will.